So, you've heard all about ChatGPT. You definitely know about Gemini, but there's another AI out there that's quietly becoming the secret weapon for some of the sharpest developers and researchers around. And honestly, most people don't even know it exists. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Anthropic's Claude. Let's get into it and see what makes this thing so special. Just take a second and think about that. What if you had an assistant that didn't just spit out answers, but could actually reason through really complex problems, help you write, and get this, even code entire applications for you from scratch? That's the kind of power we're talking about today. Okay, so with all these big names out there, where does Claude even fit in? Well, this is what's so interesting. While ChatGPT is an absolute beast for creative writing, and Gemini is all about its deep Google integration, Claude has carved out its own niche. It shines when it comes to conversational coding and some really deep reasoning. It's just built for a different kind of work. All right, let's get properly introduced. Who exactly is this underdog contender, and what really makes it tick? So at its core, Claude is an AI assistant from a company called Anthropic, and its whole purpose, its reason for being, is to be your partner in really complex tasks. Things like sifting through massive documents, reasoning through data, and like we'll see in a bit, writing some seriously impressive code. Now, before we go any further, you've got to wrap your head around one key concept: tokens. Every single thing you send it and every response you get back, it costs a certain number of these tokens. I love this analogy here. It's kind of like having arcade tokens. You only get so many for your quarter, so you have to make every single move, every prompt really, really count. All right, enough with the theory. Let's see how this thing actually works in the real world. How can this tool actually make your day-to-day life easier? Look, we all deal with this kind of chaos, right? An inbox that's totally out of control, a to-do list that's a mile long. Claude can just cut right through that noise. It can scan your documents and tell you, hey, here are the 3 most important things you need to do today. It can take all your scattered research notes and turn them into a perfect briefing for that big meeting. And that last point, interacting with web pages, that means it can literally live in your browser, clicking buttons and filling out forms for you. It's like having an automated assistant for the entire web. Now, for all you visual thinkers out there, this is where things get really, really cool. Taking a wall of boring text and making it instantly understandable, well, that's one of its superpowers. And you don't need some complex, jargon-filled command. You can feed it a bunch of your notes and just say, make me an infographic. That's it. The simplicity here is the whole point. And here's where the magic happens. As you're watching, a little side window called Artifacts just pops up, and Claude starts writing the code for that infographic live, right in front of your eyes. In just a few seconds, your boring notes are now a visual you can actually use and understand. And don't think this is just for small tasks. I mean, imagine you have to get through a 300-page textbook for a class. Instead of reading it cover to cover, you can just upload the entire file, ask it super specific questions, and even get it to build you an interactive dashboard to help you learn the material. This is an absolute game changer for students, for researchers, for anyone. Okay, you might want to brace yourself for what I think is the most impressive part of this whole explainer. We're moving on from just organizing information to actually creating brand new things with it. Welcome to the era of vibe coding. And yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like. You don't need to be a programmer. You just provide the vibe, the idea, the description of what you want in plain English, and Claude does all the heavy lifting, writing the actual code for you. And I am not talking about simple little requests here. Just look at this prompt. It is detailed. It specifies the user flow, it asks for an admin screen, it tells it where to store the data, and even says to follow visual mockups exactly. You're not writing a single line of code. You're directing the entire project. And just like that, something that used to take a development team weeks to build can now be prototyped in just a few minutes. You can build a game, a quick ordering system for a pop-up shop, a business simulation, right there on the spot. The crucial takeaway here is the incredible speed and accessibility this brings to creating software. So now you've seen what it can do, but, and this is a big but, getting these incredible results depends entirely on how you talk to it. So let's look at how to master that conversation. This right here, this is the single most important takeaway for using any AI, but especially Claude. You are not just a user, you are the director. Your clarity, your vision, that is what will determine the quality of what you get back. So how do you direct well? First, be ridiculously specific.
help me write something is useless. Draft a lesson on photosynthesis for a 5th grade class is a great start. Second, you have to define its role. Tell it to act as a fitness coach or a scriptwriter or a financial analyst. And finally, set crystal clear expectations. Tell it the format, the length, and the key points you want. Don't ever leave it guessing.
Okay, once you have those basics down, there are a couple of pro-level techniques that can just dramatically improve your results. It's time to level up. This one, honestly, is a game changer. It's called chain of thought prompting. Just look at the difference. By simply adding that phrase at the beginning, think through this problem carefully before answering, you're forcing the AI to slow down, to check its work, and to give you a much more detailed, well-reasoned response instead of just a quick surface-level answer. But what if you're dealing with a ton of data, and you need an answer that's perfectly organized every single time? Well, instead of getting a messy paragraph back, you can ask for something called a structured output. One way to do that is to ask for something called JSON. Now, I know, that sounds like a scary programmer word, but it's not. Seriously, just think of it as giving the AI a specific template to fill in. It's just a way to tell Claude, hey, organize your answer into this clean, predictable format for me. It's all about turning messy data into something you can actually use. So, when you put all of this together, it becomes pretty clear that AI, like Claude, isn't just a machine for getting quick answers anymore. It's a true collaborator, a creative partner, a whole development engine. The only question left is, are you ready to step into that director's chair?